Your Olympic hero has arrived. It's true, it's true.
You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and my voice is still a little shot, but obviously, since it's still December, I wanted to get some more Christmassy content up. So today I want to talk a little bit about some Christmas traditions in this episode of, fuck it, let's say this is Flashbacks, why not? I did a Flashbacks on Christmas stuff a long time ago, back in Gen 2 of the channel. But this time I want to talk more about Christmas traditions. So one of the early traditions that we used to do all the time as a kid was we would spend Christmas Eve at my great-grandma's house, and everyone would gather around. We'd open some presents. There'd be different little things they do where, like, my grandpa would read a Christmas story, or other people would tell some sort of story, or read a poem, or things like that. I remember there was even one time that we went out and let balloons go when it hit midnight because it was Christmas. Like, we let some balloons off into the air to float off. There was a bunch of different things that we've done there. There'd always be, like, those Rankin Bass Christmas specials on the TV while I was there. After my great-grandma died, we started doing that at my grandma's house, although we did also do it at my parents' house a couple of years. Another tradition we do on Christmas Eve is every year my parents would get us pajamas. Like me and my brothers, we'd all have different pajamas that we'd get every Christmas Eve, and we still do that to this day. My mom will still get us, like, pajama bottoms and t-shirts. As the years went on, the t-shirts actually became custom t-shirts every year, so every year now we get custom t-shirts. Then on Christmas Day every year we would go to my grandma's house, and they'd make pancakes or waffles, bacon, and sausage and eggs, and we'd have breakfast there, right? And then after breakfast, we'd open presents. After a while, it got to the point where we started doing, like, a Secret Santa type thing where we'd, like, draw names out of a hat, and, like, you know, that's who we'd get the gift for, and there'd be, like, a cash limit. That wasn't strictly followed always. Sometimes people would get other people gifts and stuff and kind of keep it, you know, not so public, because, you know, this way everybody was getting a gift. But, like, I would still get gifts for some other people in my family, too, sometimes, or vice versa. You know, the price limit varied. And then, after we'd open the gifts there in the morning, we'd hang out for a bit, and then we'd go to my other grandma's for the afternoon, and we'd do gift exchange there, which was a little different, because they do sort of like a white elephant or Yankee swap type thing, where, you know, everybody would buy a bunch of little cheap gifts. Again, also with a price limit, and then we'd put them all, we'd wrap them all, and then we'd pass them around, open them, and, like, do that game where, you know, you can trade or grab a new gift from the pile. So that was fun. We still do something kind of similar to that. We don't really do all the swapping anymore. That part was always more low-key than the other gifts, typically, which, you know, that was just kind of how it went. We'd also have lunch there at that grandma's house, which typically was a pretty light lunch with stuff like baked potatoes, ham, and then not like a bunch of crazy stuff, just pretty simple stuff. And then later, at around like 6 o'clock, we'd go back to the other grandma's for clam chowder. We'd also, like, open gifts at my parents' house in the morning before we'd go to my grandma's for breakfast. Initially, I forgot to mention that part. I think one of my favorite Christmases was the year that I got a Game Boy Advance. It's back before the SP was even a thing. Like, Game Boy Advance was like the new thing. I remember I was super excited when I got that. That year was all really good. I think that's also the year that one of my younger brothers just wanted, like, a rubber chicken and root beer for his Christmas gifts, and that was really funny. There's a more modern tradition I do now where every year, and I've done it on stream a few years as well, that I'll watch 8 Crazy Nights because I fucking love that movie. There was actually, like, a whole year where I watched that movie every night for a year, because I really liked that movie. I know that's really weird, but I did that for a while. Like, granted, that was back when I was a kid, but watching it every year as a Christmas tradition probably started either, like, late teenager or early adulthood, and I've done it ever since. I also try to watch It's a Wonderful Life pretty frequently. I love that movie. When I was a kid, another thing I used to watch around every Christmas was Rudolph, not the Rankin Bass one, but the cartoon one that had, like, Eric Idle in it, and, you know, it was a musical. Now, I look back very fondly, back when everybody was still around, and we'd have really big get-togethers for Christmas. Lots of cousins that you, like, never see would come around, and there'd just be, like, a whole big group. I definitely think times have changed. A lot of people either moved away, died, or just aren't around anymore. And, that's just what happens with time. But it is good to look back fondly on those memories, some of the best Christmases we've had. Another thing is my aunt would always get us $2 bills every Christmas. That was like her tradition as a gift. And when I was a little kid, my great uncle used to always get me stuff related to trains, because he knew I liked trains when I was a kid. I wasn't like obsessed with them, but that was like one of the only things he knew that I liked, so he'd always get me something train related. So like, obviously I liked it and all, but I hyped it up more because, it was like, it was thoughtful enough that I like pretended to like it probably more than I did. And that was just kind of who I was at the time. Also, another one of my aunts would get us Legos every year for a while. That was only when I was a really little kid. Then that was at my other, that was on my dad's side of the family where we do the Yankee swap white elephant type thing. So the Legos were definitely before that became the tradition, because after we started doing that, she didn't really go in with the Legos anymore. Anyway, I don't really have much else to say. It's probably short, sweet, and to the point, but that's another episode of Flashbacks. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Toodles!
Dude! What? Don't put the magic hat on the snowman. Why? Because if you do, he's gonna come to life. Cool. No, it's not cool. My sister in Minnesota put a hat on a snowman and it tried to kill her. Fuck him. Let's do it anyway. Yeah.
What are you doing? Subscribe to Fugitive Red Eye.